A young man excluded by everyone at his school is given superhuman powers when he is bitten by a genetically modified dragonfly. Today we're going to recap the 2000 bullied by all the students at his school and has only one friend, Trey. Every day, they both meet on the same school bus, but on that day the class from Empire City High School was heading for a visit to an animal research laboratory. On the way there, Rick realizes that he doesn't fit into any kind of group with the other students. He's just part of the school newspaper and has a secret crush on Jill Johnson, a girl who hardly notices him and is still dating the bully, Lance Landers. In the laboratory, the class is greeted by Dr. Strom, the head researcher, who explains to everyone that the animals that live there are genetically modified and have unique properties. Rick wastes no time and quickly approaches Jill, who is watching a bird. He tries to talk to her briefly and says that he is going to photograph the animal for the school newspaper, at which point Dr. Strom explains that students should not feed any animals, let alone photo of a bird, causing the animal to combust instantly. The young man tries to put out the flames that have already consumed the creature's entire body and, in a frustrating attempt to contain the fire, ends up kicking the bird's body towards Lance. The bully advances towards the nerd to finish him off. Jill tries to stop him, but can't. Lance is only restrained by the arrival of and he's currently living with his aunt and uncle. In the middle of the conversation, Rick realizes that Lance's uncle has a health problem, but the man replies that he's fine. The bully takes advantage of his uncle leaving the scene and pushes Rick towards an area full of animal excrement. The young man quickly looks for something to clean himself with, finds a bottle with something that looks like water and decides to use the substance to remove the dirt on his shirt. However, Dr. Strom explains to his students that the laboratory team is currently carrying out new experiments with the animals and, to do this, they use an extremely powerful pheromone that affects the nervous system of each one of them to reproduce. Just then, Rick realizes that the liquid he was using to clean himself was not water, but the pheromone used for reproduction. In a few seconds, several animals of different species advance towards the young man. Even a genetically modified dragonfly that was hiding there ends up biting Rick's neck. In the evening, the young man's aunt and uncle receive a call from the school informing them that Rick has run away from the lab excursion. The young man arrives home in a critical state of health, but his aunt and uncle deduce that he is just going through puberty. When he gets to his room, Albert, Rick's uncle, tries to talk to his nephew, but the young man can't stand the symptoms and collapses. That same evening, in the research laboratory, he his new project to other company employees. He tells everyone that he only has an hour to live, so he has decided to create a machine to live even longer. With the help of Dr. Strom, Lou goes through a painful process on his own invention to show everyone what he's really capable of. Eventually, the employees realize that the machine hasn't worked and Lou is going to perish anyway. However, Lou grabs the arm of one of the employees and, just by touching him, manages to drain all of the man's vital energy. He becomes more powerful and quickly begins to suck the life out of everyone in the place. The next day, Rick wakes up without any symptoms on his body. Even the dragonfly bite mark has disappeared. The young did a serious illness after the dragonfly bite. The young man answers a form and ends up meeting an unknown user on a social network. The person claims to have the answer to the young man's problem and says that they will be able to meet very soon. That morning, the students of Empire City High School receive an illustrious visit from the theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking. Everyone is excited to observe the various experiments at the science fair. Rick realizes that Jill is also there and tries to calm down so he can go and talk to the girl.